Here we are, it is the season for Thanksgiving, for giving of thanks. And so I thought I would take you through an exercise on how we can bring a feeling of gratitude into areas where we don't have gratitude yet. But first, let's bring our attention to the experience of the breath right here at the nostrils. Just noticing the in and the out, and how that feels from the nostrils point of view. We can use the experience of the breath at the nostrils to anchor us into the now moment. Just feeling what it is to be in our bodies, breathing. Notice that we're bringing the external into our internal alchemy. Drawing that external air into our internal alchemy. And then the body eventually uses that oxygen, and then the waste product is the carbon dioxide. And so notice how on that exhale you breathe out what the trees and the green things breathe in. Breathing in what the trees and the green things breathe out, bring it into our inner alchemy. And then breathing out what the trees and the green things breathe in. And so we're connected in this way. And just noticing the sensations right here at the nostrils, the coolness of the air, that subtle tickle. And then as we breathe out, we notice the subtle movement of the air on the upper lip. And so for your next exhale, consider it like a waterfall that flows from the nose, through the body, down the front of the body, all the way to the toes. So imagine that exhale is like a beautiful cleansing waterfall that flows from the nose, down through the body, through the front, all the way down to the toes. We exhale from the nose, through the throat, into the shoulders, down the arms, into the chest, the heart, into the upper belly, lower belly, into the hips, down the legs, through the knees, the shins, into the ankles, into the feet, and out through the toes. And now the inhale flows deeper in the body, in through the soles of the feet, up the back, up the heel, along the calf, the back of the thigh, into the buttocks, through the tailbone, up along the spine, up the whole back, including the kidneys, past your angel wings, into the back of your head, to prepare you for that next exhale. And so we waterfall down the front through that exhale, to inhale, more like a geyser perhaps, up the back of the body, up the back of the legs, into the tailbone, the sit bones, along the spine, all the way up the back, into the back of the head. And so just enjoy these beautiful sweeping breaths, exhaling from nose to toes, like a beautiful waterfall, and then inhaling feet up the back to return to the face. We're just using the breath to ground us and anchor us into this now moment, which is essentially all moments. And all we can find here is unconditional love and support. The floor that's supporting us in just the right amount. The air abundantly providing us with what we need. We have more than we need at this moment in this room. Books we're not reading, lamps we're not using, cushions we're not using, a treatment table we're not using, candles we haven't lit. And so even if you were to bear down, right, like push down like Rumpelstiltskin into the floor, it doesn't give way. It doesn't just collapse underneath you. And so for our part, right now, we can prove to ourselves that we are in this moment unconditionally supported. And this is unconditional love, actually. Good, sweeping, cleansing breaths. Connecting the mind through our attention with the body. And this is essentially what it feels like to follow the breath. What it means to follow the breath is just use the mind to follow the path of the breath. And so for our part, we're anchoring the breath, we're connecting the breath with the whole body. Exhaling down the front from nose to the toes. To then inhale up the back from the feet all the way to the face. And so while you're just enjoying these natural cleansing, anchoring breaths, grounding breaths, centering breaths, I want you to bring to mind something that you don't have 100% peace around. Something where you have a grievance, unfinished business. It could be a power struggle within a relationship. It could be something happening that was unexpected, unwanted, unpleasant. Just bringing to mind something in your life, someone or an area in your life, a theme where you don't have 100% peace. Now, if you want to, you can write this down. Write the situation, the grievance, the power struggle, the conflict, the unfinished business. Even if it's deep in the past, we can use this now moment to transmute it. We can use the unconditional love, the support, the truth of this now moment to help transmute that energy. After all, it's in the past. It's over. It's just having a life in the now moment, in your mind. And as it lives in your mind, then ultimately, inevitably, it lives in the body, because the body is an effective mind, right? So if you want to take a minute, pause the video, write it down on a piece of paper. And so just take a moment to really recognize that it's over. It's not here now. That again, it only exists as a story in your mind. And as we entertain the story in our mind, it then has an impact, it has an effect on the body. It moves energy, it becomes energy and motion, emotion. So we can ask ourselves, if we want to, if this is stressful when I think about it, when I bring my attention there, then my question to myself is, why keep it? Why keep it for now? Why would I steal the peace of this now moment, the unconditional love and support of this now moment, in favor of a stressful thought system, a stressful story? And so now I want you to consider that your mind is like a beautiful, vast, sacred temple. Or if you like, it can be a beautiful, vast, sacred, holy circle. If you like, you can imagine that the sacred space of your mind is a beautiful wonderland somewhere in nature. But for my part, I'm imagining my mind as a beautiful, vast, sacred and holy temple. And so the next step is to just go ahead and sweep the sacred circle, the sacred temple of our mind, clear and clean. Clear and clean from false ideas, stressful thoughts, frivolous ideas, distracting ideas, falsehoods, limiting beliefs. So we're just sweeping clear the sacred circle, the sacred space, the sacred temple of our own minds. When you feel complete with that, go ahead and illuminate the sacred space, the sacred circle, the sacred temple of your mind. If you are seeing in your mind's eye a beautiful place in nature, a holy space in nature, you can see it illuminated by the pure light of the sun. If it's a sacred circle, just see it illuminated by the holy light of truth and love. See streaming light flowing in through the stained glass windows, filling the room with beautiful, perfect, pure light, holy light of divine mind. We're endeavoring to share our own minds with the divine mind, to use the divine mind to be our own mind, so that we can see the world through truth's eyes and with a holy heart, with a loving and compassionate heart. So we have the grievance, we have the unfinished business, we have the stressful thought, we've brought it to mind, we've put it on paper perhaps. And so now we're asking the holy light of truth, the holy light of love, to join us in the holy temple, in the sacred circle of our mind, in this beautiful space. You can imagine the holy light of love, the holy light of truth as a figure, as a form. It can be angelic, it can be light, it can be a guardian angel, even an ancestor. But for our part, our intention is to invite in the highest expression of the holy light of truth, the holy light of peace. It could be Jesus himself, an angel. And so using your imagination as the bridge, just invite them into the sacred temple, the sacred circle of your mind, this holy space. And go ahead and lay your grievance at truth's feet, at love's feet. Keep gathering the grievance from your heart, from the mind that it occupies, from your throat for the words you haven't spoken, for the lack of peace in the belly, in the body. So gather it up using your imagination, using your etheric hands. Gather it up. Not only place it at the feet of truth, but also lay it in the hands of truth, as an angel, as a guide, as the Holy Spirit, as Jesus himself, as light. There's no right or wrong in this. And now we're asking to share truth's perspective. We're asking to share love's perspective about the grievance, about the unfinished business, about the power struggle, the conflict, the unpleasant, the unwanted, the unexpected. And so now go ahead and ask, so what is the truth of this? What was the purpose of that experience? Imagining that the purpose was to help your soul in some way, to help you in some way. So what was its purpose? What was its purpose from God's point of view, from truth's point of view, from love's point of view? What was its purpose? And how is it helping you actually? How is it helping your soul? Is it you're helping your soul simply to have the experience? Helping your soul to choose love in the face of it? To choose peace in the face of it? Is it helping you to be strong, to stand up for yourself, to turn to God and receive God's wisdom, to return to your own innocence? What's it for? What's it for? It has a purpose. And the purpose is important. That's what we're uncovering. So you're listening for the answer. You might get a full hit of insight, the aha. You might hear the words or just have a feeling that somehow the experience is helping you in some way. So how is it helping? What's its purpose? How is it helping you? And then what needs to happen? So asking the holy light of truth, the holy light of love, what do I need to remember? What do I need to realize? What do I need to understand? What perspective do I need to hold in order to be at peace around this, to be totally at peace? And assert the wish, the prayer that you wish to see peace. You wish to behold, to be the holder of love in the face of this. In this situation, for myself, for anyone else who happens to be a part of the play, a part of the act. If there is somebody who is part of the act, who's playing their perfect part for you, in this sweet moment that you forgot that you asked them to play this perfect part, you can bring them to mind. Ask the holy light of love, the holy light of truth, to help you see through that lens, to see them with love and with truth, with peace in your heart, with equanimity. If you can't reach that, then just a simple curiosity. How do they appear in your mind as you call them into the sacred temple of your mind, the sacred circle, the holy space? Look at them as though you've been waiting your whole life for this moment, as if you've never seen them before, with a curiosity. Notice how they're wearing their hair, the clothes, the expression on their face, the look in their eye. If you want to, you can ask them what they need from you in order to be at peace, and listen for the answer. What is it that this perfect actor needs to realize, to remember, to have, in order to be at peace around your relationship, your dynamic, the situation that includes them? And listen for that answer. If you want to write it down, you can. And we're asking God to help us have peace in our hearts and in our minds, instead of the grievance and instead of the stress, instead of the resistance. And so when you're ready, you can say, I love you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the thoughts that I have that have me convinced that you and I are separate. The part that has forgotten that I asked you to play this part for me in the first place. And you're doing it perfectly for me to learn, for me to find it in myself, to be more loving, to be stronger, to have greater clarity, to have deeper faith. So please forgive me for that. Forgive me for the moments that I forget. it hurts us both, I realize. And so thank you. Thank you for being all that you are, for playing your part perfectly, to help me be love in the face of it, to reach more deeply into my faith, and also to seek your innocence, to see your innocence as I wish to see my own innocence in this. And so now just take a moment to connect with the feeling of gratitude that we have when we do find peace around something where we didn't have peace before. Part of the purpose of our suffering and our discomfort and our pain is when we come out of it on the other side and we no longer have that stress, that lack of peace, that pain, the suffering. It's gone, it's in the past, it's successfully moved into the past. And so when it's moved into the past, then we have gratitude. We have gratitude because it's over. We have gratitude for the experience. It has a gift. So let's return our attention to the holy light of love, the holy light of peace, the holy light of truth. And let's ask, so let me, before I finish here, let me have total clarity around what the gift is in this experience. What's the gift, the gem that usually we find in hindsight, often after a lot of time has passed, but it doesn't have to be that way. We can get quicker, we can get better at turning our grievances around and finding the gem. It doesn't have to take years, it doesn't have to take months or weeks or days or hours. We can do it now, we can turn it around now. So we're asking to be illuminated to what is the unique, specific gem. Asking the holy light of love, the divine wisdom of truth. What is this for? What is the gem? What is the gift? And then we bring that gift into our bodies. Pop it in your pocket, stick it in your bag, hang it around your neck if you want to. Let that gem become part of the different facets of your nature that ornament you, that make you unique in who you are. And so let's thank the holy light of love, the holy light of truth. Let's go ahead and breathe it in. If you want to, you can say on your inhale, I am, as you breathe in. Whole as you breathe out. Whole and complete, nothing's missing. I am on that inhale. Love as you breathe out. A channel and a source of unconditional love. An instrument of love. And then I am as you breathe in. Peace as you breathe out. And so go ahead and take 3 more breaths, exhaling from the nose down through the body like a waterfall, down the front of the body to the toes. Inhaling up the back. Beautiful sweeping breaths. Exhaling down the front. To then inhale up the back. Nose to toes on the exhale for the waterfall, down the front. And then inhaling up the back from the feet along the spine, through the shoulder blades, the angel wings, into the back of the head to return to the face. Feel free to share this waking meditation with your friends, with your family members. Please leave a comment below how you experienced it. You can share in the comments below one word to describe how you felt when we started, one word to describe how you felt on completion. And so consider this my gift to you. Happy Thanksgiving.